guys, I hope you're well. In this video, I want to finally discuss the poem Prelude. Without further ado, guys, let's begin. One summer evening led by her. Guys, the her is who? I would argue that the her in this poem is Mother Nature. So Wordsworth has personified Mother Nature. Led by her, guys, the word led implies that Mother Nature is in control. So nature is leading him, nature is seducing him, nature is alluring him on. One summer evening, led by her, I found a little boat tied to a willow tree. So he finds a boat tied to a tree within a rocky cove, its usual home. So he finds a boat where it belongs. Straight I unloosed her chain. Guy, at this part, the fact that he unloosed the chain, it shows familiarity. It shows that he's used to doing this. He's not unfamiliar with this. But at the same time, it shows how eager he is to be with nature. He undoes the chain and he just takes off. It was an act of stealth. Act of stealth. What is stealth? Nobody can see you. You're hiding. Yes, so guys, he does this in the cover of the darkness. He makes sure nobody sees. He makes sure nobody watches him. And trouble pleasure. This is oxymoron. He knows that he should not be doing this. Now this is what implies that he's possibly stolen the boat. He knows he should not be doing this. He knows this is not a good thing. But it's pleasure. He's enjoying it. Nor without the voice of mountain echoes did my boat move on, leaving behind her still on either side, small circles glittering idly in the moon, until they all melted into one track. So guys, he's talking about his rowing. He's talking about the idea that as he's rowing in the water, the circles are glittering in the water and the moon is shining down. It's a very poetic and it's a very beautiful image. Yeah, it seems quite serene, quite peaceful. Yeah, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing disturbing him. He's alone with his lover. He's alone with his fantasy. He's alone with what he wants to be alone with, which is what? He's alone with nature. I fixed my view, with an unswerving line. Unswerving line means straight. He knows where he's going. He's got a place in mind, which again implies that he's done this before. He knows exactly where he's going. I fixed my view upon the summit of a craggy ridge, the horizon's utmost boundary. So he wants to go to the edge. He wants to sail right to the edge of the boundary that he can see. And there's nothing that's going to stop him. Lustily, I dipped my oars into the silent lake. Now, guys, this shows look, if we're going to argue that this is Mother Nature, this shows like an unhealthy obsession with nature. Lustily, the language is very sexual. Yeah, he's almost enjoying this almost sexual encounter. So you're going to make the point that he is obsessed with nature. He has power over nature at this point because he is doing with nature as he pleases. And as I rose upon the stroke, my boat went heaving through the water like a swan. So guys, it's a simile. He is in complete control like a swan. He's sailing lovely, he's sailing beautifully. But then things change. This is the part of the poem where you want to speak about how the tone changes. The shift. When from behind the craggy steeps... When from behind the craggy steeps till then the horizon bound, a huge peak, black and huge, as if with voluntary power instinct, upreared its head. Alright guys, we want to make the point that something has disturbed his moment with nature. Something unexpected. He almost makes it out to be some kind of monster. Yeah, so as he's sailing, something comes from the horizon. Something comes from behind this the kind of steep, craggy steep. And it comes and he watches a black, big, huge figure and it's blocking his relationship, it's blocking his moment with nature. But the irony is, guys, this is from nature. Yeah, so is nature trying to teach him a lesson? We can discuss that in a second. What does he do? Now the peaceful stroking and the majestic, like a swan rowing, doesn't exist anymore. I struck and I struck again. Yeah, now he's in panic mode. And growing still in touch with the grim shape towered between me and the stars. Again, guys, this is blocking him and his nature. Something is disturbing him. Something is stopping him from being alone with nature. Like a living thing, and it strode after me. Guys, this thing is after him. He's almost he almost can't compete with nature. He almost can't be one with nature. It's almost as though nature has told him that he's gone too far. He was embarking upon this relationship of nature, trying to be at one with nature, but nature has blocked him. Nature has stopped him. With trembling oars, shaking, he's petrified. I turned and through the silent water stole my way back to the cover of the willow tree. Guys, he runs back. He can't believe it. His beautiful nature, has it betrayed him? Has it put him in his place? Did it allow him to be at one with nature? But when nature saw that he was cocky and confident and arrogant and that he was abusing nature, it turned on him. And therefore he runs back home petrified. And then what happens to him? In a serious mood, dim and undetermined sense, over my thoughts there hung a darkness. Guys, in other poems there's PTSD. In this poem, over his thoughts hung a darkness. Whatever he has seen has mentally disturbed him. Whatever he has seen has mentally tortured him. Over his thoughts there hung a darkness. It's like it's ruined his image of what nature was and what nature is. No familiar shapes remain. No pleasant images of trees, of sea, or sky. No colour of green fields. Guys, I'm not going to read the full poem because it's quite similar now. But how does the poem end? The poem ends with his view, his image of nature being completely destroyed. Now my summarizing point of this poem is this. Nature allows him to be free at the beginning. It allows him to do what he wants because he's obsessed, he's in love with nature. But he abuses his power. He shows off, he's quite arrogant. And therefore nature teaches him, God teaches him that do not abuse nature or I will put you in his place. And that's how I see the poem, The Prelude. Now, I would also argue that if you really want to stretch it, you could also argue this poem has a lot of connotations of rape. And the idea you want to pull from that is that he almost takes away the right of nature because of how he treats nature in the beginning of the beginning of the poem. He does what he wants to it without taking care of it, without asking, without checking to see if nature's okay. And guys, that is the poem. That is the prelude. That is a quick summary of the prelude. You want to pick out language, please do. The structure, you want to talk about the poem as it develops. Things get worse and worse and worse. It goes from love to hate pretty quick. There's a shift in focus in the center of the poem. And that is the poem Prelude. I'm sure there'll be loads of questions. So any questions that you do have on the Prelude, drop them down below. Drop me a DM on Instagram. Like, share the video if you find it beneficial. As always, thank you for watching. It's been Mr. Eveything English.